Hello, my name is Paul Park. I'm from Bubble Language School, and I'm here to tell you my story. What is my personal value system? My personal value system starts with Don Quixote. When you look at the world that has this skepticism at what chivalry could be and used to be, and looks at a maniacal man trying to impose chivalry in a world that thinks it's dead, he's freaking crazy. I've always wanted to be unique and different because I think I've always known it. I just didn't always own it. So my personal value system is from everything that I've read, every trial and tribulation that I've gone through. When I'm 13 years old and there's no source of income, I have to pay rent and I have to make a living in Bend, Oregon, where my parents had moved after our dry cleaners had burnt down in the LA riots of 1992 or so. We had been there for 5 years. Those 5 years were beautiful. They were filled with puppies and bagels, filet mignon, and cooking for my dad on a barbecue steak. The day he had a stroke, I was at Fred Meyer's at some shopping complex. And I remember calling my brother on a payphone to pick me up. And he said, "Paul, I'm coming to get you right now. Dad's in the hospital." The day he died, I remember I was in this house, in the house that I ended up staying in afterward, but he was gone. And I checked his pulse and he was laying in bed. And my stepmother was frantically massaging him to try to get his heart back up and going. And I remember slowly walking away, stepping outside, looking outside in the early afternoon, the brisk afternoon of high desert winter. But it wasn't winter yet, it was getting there. It felt like winter. And I sat there and I cried and I looked out crying. I didn't bury my head in my shoulder, in my hands or on my arms. I just remember looking out into the distance and crying. I remember being enveloped by my friend's mom, and I don't really remember much after that. It's kind of the same for when my mom died. You see, I was 5 years old, and what I remember from that is a smell and a bunch of memories on couches and stuff with my brothers. But I remember dropping a rose into the ground, and I was wearing a suit. This little 5-year-old kid wearing a black suit, white shirt and black tie, and everybody stood their distance a little bit because they knew that boy had just lost his mom. After my dad passed when I was 13 in Oregon, that was when I chose to survive on my own. I could have moved and lived with my brothers, but I said, no, I'm gonna do my own thing here. So my personal value system is from everything that I've read, every trial and tribulation that I've gone through,